And Ryan says, what is the coolest relic that Charles has had the privilege to venerate? Not necessarily just because of the saint in question, but because of the nature of the object itself. For example, I've been able to venerate the head of Saint Oliver Plunkett in Droida or the hand of Saint Stephen in Budapest. Could Charles offer some further comments about the rather macabre nature of relics and what it conveys about the Catholic psyche regarding death?
Well, let me first say I've venerated both the head of St. Oliver Plunkett and Droida and the holy hand of St. Stephen, the holy right hand, at St. Stephen's Basilica in Budapest. I've been able to venerate, thank God, a lot of remarkable relics and shrines. But the most remarkable, in my humble estimation, is the Holy Host of Hasselt in the town of Hasselt in Belgium, which is just what it sounds like. It's a host that was stabbed during the Middle Ages and began to bleed. And as you can imagine, the people were somewhat taken aback, as they always are by Eucharistic miracles. Eventually, it was placed in a monstrance and put up for veneration, and it remains there today. It's a very unremarkable looking thing because it's a host that's off-white. It's not white, but it's off-white. It's got a little brown stain where it bled, and that's it. But as I sat there kneeling, or sat there as I knelt there rather, looking at it, it suddenly occurred to me, it's not in an airtight container. It's just a monstrance. The thing has no business existing. You might say that scientifically speaking, it has no right to exist, like the Tilma at Guadalupe, like a lot of Eucharistic miracles of a certain age. So I would say that is the most exciting relic I've ever venerated. I'd love to go to Lanciano. There are a lot of other Eucharistic miracles I'd like to venerate, but this is the only one I've actually come up to.
Isn't there one that bleeds at a certain time of year or something? What? Yeah,
That's the
is
it
that Saint
liquefies.
Januarius?
Yeah, or San Gennaro in Italian in Naples. But I've not been to Naples. It's too far south for me. My ears start to bleed.
Uh,
South of Rome, Italy gets very, very difficult.
well, I feel bad for you, because you're really okay. Just
Well, you know what happens is all those wonderful cream sauces and everything, they turn to tomato. And all that butter, it becomes olive oil as you go further south. Now, it's either that or I just haven't had the opportunity to get to Naples and will give my eye teeth to go there.
okay.
You can
That's
decide
nice.
you
That's
can
better.
decide which of these two is like there. And ditto with Bari and the Basilica of St. Nicholas.
Hmm.
So you can decide which of these two possibilities, the snooty one or the pathetic one, is the either it's so beneath me I wouldn't go to southern Italy, or I just don't have the time and the money yet.
Okay.
You may decide which of the two is like there.
Okay. It's a hard choice. I'll give it some serious thought.
All right, very good. Be judicious. Uh, but the as far as the other goes, well, I mean the relics are a way of connecting with the saint, just like the Eucharistic miracles or the relics of those are a way of connecting directly with our Lord. Um, and they have another similarity in that um, any Eucharistic miracle or um, a relic of the precious blood or something like that is not given the divine worship that we give to the host. And the reason for that is that our Lord is present humanity and divinity in those. But he's only present in his humanity. In, for instance, the relics of the precious blood. I'm not quite sure about the Eucharistic miracles, but I know that relics of the precious blood, they get the highest form of veneration we would give saints. But the very fact that there's just his human blood, the divine element is gone, and so you don't venerate it. You don't worship it the way you worship the host. But obviously, if you're venerating the head of Saint Oliver Plunkett, he's not there anymore. He's in heaven. But it nevertheless keys you in a very particular way, a very special way to that given saint. It's like the hand of Saint Edmund Arrowsmith, which I have yet to venerate, but hope to one day. These sorts of relics, what it says is that for the Catholic, the Church triumphant is never far away, and it's also tangible. You know, the ours is not a religion of the purely spiritual. It's not, you know, New Age, where you just sort of transcend the physical. You don't transcend it; you redeem it, and you use the physical as a bridge. I mean, you know, it's funny when you receive communion, which is as physical as it gets. You take communion into you, but he takes you into him thereby.
Where did Jesus say that? That quote keeps getting thrown at me, and where Jesus literally says that, or doesn't, is there some sort of,
St.
it's not
Thomas certainly
biblical.
says it.
Does St.
St.
Thomas say
Thomas
that?
says it. Oh yeah.
Okay. I
I
really
think
like that.
St. Augustine says it, I think. Yeah, it's pretty neat.